Now then, carpets, it's me again, and we're back. 2025. Happy New Year to everybody. It's middle of February now, so it's a bit of a late start for me. But we're out, we're doing a bit. Thought I'd better get some videos uploaded for you. Even though conditions aren't the best today, but we're on the verge of a bit of warm weather, so whether it switches them on a little bit, I don't know. But as you can see, new set of rods, what I won in a raffle. Guys and greens. I've gone for the 12-foot 6 4-pounders, and for the money, what a rod they are. I know people are knocking them, but wow, they can throw a lead. Wow, they can throw a lead. I've just put 2 solid bags, about 120, 130 yards, with zero effort, 15-pound fluorocarbon main line, no leader, and they have just sailed out. These rods are awesome for the money. I know people are knocking them, like I say, but wow. But anyway, back on the club local water, where you see most of my videos. Just trying to get that first one of the year in the net. So I thought I'd do a little intro. But yeah, hopefully get back to you all soon with fish. We'll do a little bit of show you how to, well, might do another solid bag. I know I've done a solid bag video at Baden, but might do another little video in a minute under the brolly when I've got the kettle on. Well, yeah, we're back out, we're doing it. Let's have it. Good luck, carpers. Oh, she's a chilly one. 3.2 degrees, people. It'll be a long time before this water warms up. We could do a few sunny days, couldn't we, really? But as the saying goes, you got a rod in the water, you've got a chance. Let's hope one of them slips up today on the old solid bags. I'm not going to give them any bait with them sort of temperatures, but yeah, we're at a steady 3.2 degrees now, the water temperature. So let's see what today brings. Now then, carpers, how's it going? Bit of a chilly one. Just thought I'd touch base with you all and see what's been going down, you know. A bit of a rough winter. Got cord compression or something now in my neck and my spine, so I've got to see a spinal specialist, but it won't stop me fishing. But yeah, I thought I'd get these videos back up and running. See if we can get a few more followers. I'm going to put a lot more videos out this year. I'm going to travel around a little bit, so they won't be on the same water all the time, you know what I mean. I'm going to move around a little bit, do a bit of travelling around. Cromwell, I'm going to do a session down Linear. Where else am I thinking? I was thinking Bluebell, but it's a bit hit and miss with Bluebell, innit? You know what I mean? It gets a bit packed out, but I know it's a nice venue. A lot of my mates been down there and said it's awesome. But yeah, a new set of rods, what I won in a raffle off a group on Facebook called Carp Freak Raffles. Give him a follow. He's a good lad. Does some nice raffles. Keeps the numbers down, so your chances of winning are quite good. Like, I mean, I've won. I won a set of 3 Kaizen green rods. I got to pick the test curve and the length, so I went with the 12-foot 6 4-pounders. Won them for about 50 quid, I think, because I think I had 5 tickets at a tenner each. So it's cost me about 50 quid for them 3 rods. I've won the Kaizen green landing net, which is sat over there waiting to be christened. I won that for a tenner. Yep. Single bleep left hand rod. Probably a bream, probably a snotter. Old solid bags. But like I said, I come out today just to have a play with these rods, and that's why I brought the solid bags. I thought, well, I'll see how far they can throw a bag, and obviously, as you've seen from that previous clip, the water temperature is like 3.2 degrees, which is not ideal, really. I know we're in the middle of February, but we have got some warmer weather coming in. we've had these horrible easterly winds, haven't we, for a few weeks that have kept the temperatures down and kept the frost around. So, but yeah, we're out here, we're having a go. Could do with a few more followers, and if people want to comment on what they want to see and things like that, then I'm more than happy to do it if I can, sort of thing. What else is there? Well, yeah, we're out, we're doing a little bit. See if we can nick one today. It'd be very nice if we can, but I know the lake's been fishing really hard due to the weather, and obviously there's no anglers on here at the moment, putting leads around and putting bait in, so it's not pushing the fish around, and they're probably still held up and what have you. So, well, yeah, you've got to be in it to win it. But we'll give it a go. You know what I mean? We've got to give it a go, haven't we? We're carp anglers. We're all not wired up right, sitting here in the cold for a carp. But it's like now I'm sitting here on a 13-14 acre lake. I've got the whole lake to myself. There's no one here. This is another reason why I love this time of year. You come in a couple of weeks when the sun's out and it's warming up, and they'll be everywhere, you know what I mean, these anglers, you know what I mean, they've been sat in the house all winter doing nothing, and then they come out when the butterflies come out. So, but it's each to their own, innit? You know what I mean? A lot of people don't like sitting in the cold, and obviously getting on a little bit now. I mean, I'm 40 this year, so the body's not in the best of conditions. Abused it a little bit when I was younger. But yeah, we're out here, we're doing a little bit. I say I've got solid bags on both rods. Left hand rod's got like it's a milky nutty mix from CC Moore, which I've never really used, but that's that rod that's bleeping now, so there's definitely a bream on the end of that, because I had slack lines a minute ago and the line's pulled up tight, so I'll have to wind that one in a minute. The right hand rod's got my usual mix, what you saw me using at Baden, which is the krill powder with the 2mm bloodworm pellet and a little bit of the heavy DNA's heavy bag mix, what they've just done. I mean, them bags have been tied up probably from Baden actually. There was 3 of them made up in my bag, in my bucket, in the Korda PVA bucket, and I'll tell you something, that bucket is an absolute game changer. If you're into your solid bag fishing, I know they're 50 quid, I know people are saying Korda ripping you off and all that, but they're not. The bucket is bang on. You've got all the compartments, comes with a couple of packets of bags, little syringe, little scoop. You can have 2 different mixes at the bottom, well you can have 4 because there's dividers in the, yeah, there's definitely a bream on there. Right, I better sort this bream out, I'll get back to you in a minute. Right then, carpers, wasn't a bream on that one. Got the rig in now, so we're tying you back up. So I'll just pan you down there if we can. Should be able to just see the mix and everything in the screen there now. Obviously drop your lead and everything in your mix just to make sure there's no moisture left in the lead. Where are we? Got a small solid bag. As you can see, this little bucket, smart, you know what I mean, you've got little drop in bits there, you got that bit drops in there, you've got a little syringe, it comes out for syringing oils and what have you into your baits, so you get a little carpy little scoop, which is smart I think. Well, yeah, we'll just a little tiny bit of powder. This is the milk and nut mix from CC Moore. Work that down into the corners of the bottom of the bag. My hands are a bit chilly. Just gives it a bed at the bottom, you know what I mean, just so your up point's not catching the PVA or anything like that. 3.5 ounce inline lead, about a 4.5 inch rig, little shot. I fishing with a little tiny pop-up that I've made this time, a little pink pop-up. Drop that, lower that into the bag. So the hook bait's on one side there, the hook's sitting away from it so it's not catching anything. hold the lead against the side of the bag. A little bit more powder, PVA mix, bag mix, whatever it is. A little bit of that, and then just press the lead on the top of it there. Don't push the lead in, just let the lead sit on the top. So it's just resting, then it just takes the tension out of it. A little bit more powder. You don't want to overfill them, otherwise you struggle to tie them. Give the lead a couple of little wiggles, just so she sits in there nicely. Pinch your bag. Give it a couple of taps on the side of your bucket or whatever you've got to hand. And then I always give mine a couple of taps on the bottom, just to flatten the bottom of the bag out. I think it just helps with the dynamics, the aerodynamics of the bag. Just make sure that everything's nice and tight, nice and compact. There's no air pockets. Get me PVA tape ready. Right, so give the bag then a good twist at the top. Trying to keep everything in the centre of the bag, so obviously helps with the aerodynamics again of the bag. Twist it down so it's nice and tight. Your PVA tape, leave yourself a bit on one side. 3 or 4 wraps around the bag. Give yourself another tag end. I mean, it's literally, the first one's always the most awkward, because you're trying to keep the bag tight and what have you, he says. All fingers and that don't want to work. Get your first overhand granny knot. Right, pigs here in this, aren't I? Get your first overhand granny knot. Hold it down nice and tight then, so nothing can move then, you see. Just flip that leader back out of the way. Rest it on your leg or on your bivvy table or whatever you're using. Another overhand granny knot. I always do 3, just to be sure. Pull them down nice and tight. I mean, you do get a bit of play with the PVA, so you haven't got to be too gentle when you pull it down. Trim them tag ends off. Go to your corners, push your bottom corners in like that, push them down, pinch them back out, pinch the bag back out, a little lick on your finger, fold it back on itself, or you can fold it underneath, it don't really matter. I tend to just fold mine backwards. That's that one. Same on that side. Another little lick and stick. Hold it for a second so the PVA can stick to itself, as you can see. And then we just trim off the excess PVA at the top. Be careful not to obviously cut your PVA tape or cut into your leader or whatever you're using. So we'll just trim them off as much as we can, because obviously you don't want excess PVA, do you really? And there we have it. Solid bag, nice and compact. I mean, as you can tell, I'm squeezing that bag and there's no give in that bag at all. There's no air pockets, there's nothing. It's solid, and that will fly with that 3.5 ounce lead in there, plus the bag, well, the contents of the bag. You're probably looking at 4.5 ounce maybe at a push of weight. But obviously, as I've said, I've got £4 12'6" rods there, so they'll handle that. But if your rods are a bit softer, you haven't got to use a 3.5 ounce lead. They do say use the heaviest lead you can, because obviously for setting the hook, but a 2.5 or a 3 is plenty. I mean, I've got some of the new Corda ones there, they're solids, they're only 2.5s. But I think if 2.5 ounce of weight is enough to set that hook. So like I said, as soon as the fish shakes its head and then it sets the hook properly. If you use, obviously your hooks want to be make sure your hooks are nice and sharp. But yeah, that's what we're putting out today, carpers. Got that on the left hand rod, and that's on the right hand rod. Completely different mixes. You know what I mean, just to see if which one, if any, nick a bite. But that's the one I favour the most, which is my krill powder, 2mm bloodworm pellet. There's a little bit of obviously the DNA heavy bag mix, which absolutely stinks of crayfish. But yeah, that's what we're doing, carpers. Well then, carpers, little afternoon update. It is absolutely fucking freezing, pardon my French, but it is a bit chilly today. This southeasterly wind needs to off, that's what it needs. Had 2 bream so far, big uns and all, big bream. Well, I'd say big bream, about 5-6 pound, you know what I mean? The fair old chunks. Be alright on a feeder rod, but not what we want on the carp rods. Lake still looks like there's nothing in here. I'm not seeing a single fish show. I'm not seeing any flat spots, nothing. But we'll keep plugging away as we do. You know what I mean? Like I say, those carp anglers are not wired up right. We're definitely a different breed. So, just debating now, putting 2 single chods out with a couple of fluoro pop-ups. Something nice and bright, you know what I mean? Something nice and smelly. Got a couple that are gooed up. Give them something like that. And there you go. Single bleep on the right hand rod. I've stopped fishing my slack lines today now. I've tightened my lines up a little bit, try and fish for liners, you know what I mean? Just see if there's anything moving, or keep getting the odd single bleeps every now and then, but don't know if it's the wind or what, you know what I mean? Like we're using Steve Nevs, they're not the best are they for sensitivity. Duck's just gone straight through both of my right lines. But yeah, I thought I'd give you a little afternoon update. And I say it's probably going to be another boring video, this one. People are probably fed up of watching the same stuff all the time and what have you, but I'm happy making them, so I'm going to carry on making them, whether I get any followers or what have you, I don't know, I'm not too bothered. But I say it's definitely fresh today though. It is cold, man. It is very cold. That kettle has not been off, I don't think, since I've been here. I think I've had about 5-6 cups of tea now. Just trying to keep the warmth in. The wind is absolutely bitter, my hands are blue. But I'm just standing here. I've got myself in the middle of the lake, centre of the lake, so I can see everywhere, you know what I mean? So I can see if one shows or sticks its head out or anything, but I've not seen a sausage. I'm not seeing an absolute sausage. Been watching the birds, seeing if there's any fishing amongst the birds. Nothing. But you're not going to catch them at home, are you? It's only, as Terry Hearn says, it's only going to get better as the year goes on. Now it can only get warmer. But we definitely need that old current bun in the sky to start coming through and warming these waters up so we can get out on the rods properly. But yeah, I'll get back to you if anything happens. Or I might do another little piece in a minute, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to finish my brew now, and like I say, I might put 2 chods out just so I can move them around. I've got the bags out there still. I've put 2 fresh bags out not long ago, but they don't seem to be very interested. The only thing that seems to be interested in them at the moment is the bream. So, but it is what it is. Still in the winter, aren't we? So it's still winter carp fishing for you. We can't win them all. Just be nice to get one, even a little one. You know what I mean? Like I say, a lot of my past videos where I've been catching like 5, 6, 7 fish at night and stuff like that, people have been going, oh, it must be easy, it must be easy. It can't be that easy, can it? I'm down here on the same lake now. Yeah, I'm not fishing the same sort of tactics. I'm not putting any bait out or out like that this session, because I don't think putting bait out there at the minute would warrant a bite anyway. I really don't. The fish aren't active enough for that at the moment. The bleep on the right hand rod. Yeah, the fish aren't active enough at the moment, I don't think, for bait. But I could be wrong. So give it another couple of days now when it starts to warm up, and then I'll probably come back and give it another go, and I might try a little bit of bait this time. But yeah, here's what it is. Get back to you soon. Well then, carpers, it wasn't meant to be today. Back in the car, absolutely frozen. I would have stayed a little bit longer, but it's just way too cold, and that water temperature being 3.2 degrees, they're not going to feed in that, I don't think, at all. I think you'd have to drop it on one's nose now for them to take it. My plan was to go back tomorrow and do another session, but I don't know, my back's playing up now. I don't know if it's cold, got to it today or something, I don't know. But I don't know, it just wasn't meant to be. So we tried and we failed. But any day on the bank's better than being sitting at home, innit? Sorry this video hasn't been the best. Pretty boring, isn't it, really? But it's the time of year, you know what I mean? There's not much to cover in the winter. You've just got to keep things simple and keep your eyes on the water. I mean, I've sat there today for about 7 hours. I've been here now, I think. Didn't come on till like towards dinner time-ish. And I've sat there watching a lake like a hawk, and I've seen not a single fish show. I've seen no boshing, I've seen nothing. So whatever they're doing, they're just laid up, I think. I don't think they're quite awake yet. There might be 1 or 2 fish that are awake and moving around, but even I think at the moment with the temperatures of the water, I don't think they're going to be moving very quickly. I think they're going to be very docile, because obviously the cold water is going to slow them down. I know the cold-blooded animals anyway, like, but when it's 3.2 degrees, you know what I mean? I've just got back in my car now. It was 3 degrees on the way down here, and the car's still saying 3 degrees now. So obviously the temperatures have not changed at all today. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 14 degrees tomorrow, but unless you get that sun coming through to magnify the heat in the water, I just don't think it's going to do much. But yeah, if you've liked any of my videos and you want to keep watching, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Helps me get a bit of feedback on what I'm doing. I know there's a lot of anglers out there doing these sort of things now, and it seems to be every time you go on YouTube there's somebody new on there doing it, but each to their own, innit, at the end of the day. But yeah, until next time, carpers, see you later.